Hello, and welcome back to Diecast Graveyard. My name is Paul. We've got an incredibly cool build today. We're going to take this Jada Dairy Delivery, and we're going to turn it into the Punisher Delivery. This is a pretty cool car. Now, I didn't know that Jada made dairy delivery trucks, but they do. And we all have seen the HotWheels version, but this one here is a little bit lower to the ground. It looks a little bit more like a hot rod, and it's got some really cool lines to it. So we're going to take this apart. We're going to do some cutting and some painting, and we're going to have some fun with this. The Jada Punisher Delivery Vehicle. This is going to be incredibly fun, so stick around. Go ahead and grab your favorite adult beverage, and let's go ahead and get started with today's Punisher build. Let's go. This vehicle here, we didn't have to do any drilling. All we did was unscrew it from the base, and it's got 3 posts holding the car together. So we went ahead and unscrewed it. I put the screws back in so I wouldn't lose them. Here's the glass. We're going to have to cut away the front and the back when we're done with this. Interior is in great shape, and it's got a really cool base to it. I love those tires. They look awesome. This is going to be a really fun build, and I can't wait to share it with you. Let's move on. Here we're going to take the body and we're going to put it in the embalming fluid. Now the front grille, I didn't notice, had 2 plastic pieces in it that you saw there with the arrow. Well, you know what? That citrus strip that I put this stuff in ate those things right away. And there's today's tip from your Uncle Paulie. Please check your body parts there to make sure that there's no plastic pieces like headlights or taillights or bumpers or grills, because this citrus strip will definitely eat it. Now don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click on that little bell to be alerted to any future videos.
I love how the moonlight shines over the mausoleum.
After letting it sit in a citrus strip and cleaning it up, I went ahead and I sketched out what I wanted to as far as this Punisher skull on the roof. I drilled a bunch of holes where I'm going to slip in my jeweler's saw, and that's where we're going to do some cutting. Here I'm using a jeweler's saw, and I'm cutting around the areas that I had drawn out with that grease pencil. Now, I would recommend using a permanent marker or a regular pencil. So this is what we had after we finished. Now I did do one of these beforehand, but I didn't like the way it turned out, so I went ahead and did a second one, and this is how it turned out. This turned out really cool. I'm very happy with that. I'm going to do the best I can to clean everything up. Here I've got Flitz. Now Flitz, folks, is a great polish, and you definitely want to use this product. One of the things I want to do with this vehicle is I want to use the shininess of the metal underneath as part of the paint job. So I want this to look really special here. Go ahead and put a little bit on there. You don't want to put a lot because using a lot just doesn't help. Just a little bit of this polish will work fantastic. And not only will it work on metal, folks, the Flitz will also work on plastic. If you need to polish out a windshield or a plastic part or something, this Flitz does it all. So in essence, by buying this product, you can save money by using this product, which is fantastic. Let's go ahead. I've got this sped up here. We'll get the body all polished up and let that natural shine come through. I did hit it up with a little bit of sandpaper, a abrasive wheel that I used on my Dremel, and I also used some steel wool to help polish it down before I hit it with the polishing disc here. But man, that is starting to look really sweet. And if you polish it up long enough, you technically could make it look like a mirror. But that's all up to your own imagination there. Man, this is looking fantastic. Let's see how it turned out. Yeah, definitely. We got to wipe off the excess polishing like that. And then we're going to take it to the sink. We're going to scrub it down with soap and water, and then we're going to hit it with degreaser. And I use the Zep Citrus Degreaser. what a great product that is also. That looks really good. Now, yeah, you could see like little microscopic scratches and stuff like that, but that's up to you how far you want to take this. But that looks excellent. Man, I love it. And I love this product, folks. Like I said, get you some flits. There'll be a clip at the end of the video about flits where you can save some money on it. So please check it out at the very end of the video. Let's go ahead and move on. Now here I've got this all taped up. I use the blue painter's tape. Make sure that around the fenders and those complex curves that you got it all attached, and you get in with your fingernail or whatever and rub it down in so you don't have any gaps when you go to paint. We're going to give this an American type paint job. This is going to look fantastic. Now, using the underlying metal, that's going to be the white on the American flag. And of course, we're going to use blue and red Spectra Flame for the other colors. Now here I've got my Activator Hardener. The mixture for this is 5-to-1. 5-to-1. 5 parts paint, 1 part Activator Hardener. If you use those directions from the manufacturer, then your paint will be flawless. Hopefully you cleaned your vehicle off well enough here. First thing we're going to do is we're going to start off with the Spectra Flame Red. And we're going to put a very light mist coat on. Like I said, a light mist coat. You want to make sure that you don't put on too much because you don't want it to seep underneath the tape that you put on there to mask off the area. That's very important when you're doing work with masking tape and pinstriping, etc. Now the blue tape on the skull, that's going to be where there is a blue field of paint later on. Now that's going to have to be painted later because once you put down the red and the blue, it's going to have to sit at least for a day in order for it to not mess up when you go to put any more tape over the top of it. That red's coming out really nice. Like I say, it's very important to make sure that your tape is all the way down and that there's no gaps there because you don't want this paint to leak underneath. Man, that's starting to look sweet. Let's go ahead and move on. I let this set for about 20 minutes. Now I'm coming back in with the blue Spectra Flame. Now here we're just going to blend the two colors, the blue and the red. And yeah, it's going to look a little bit purple, but you know what? The blend and the fade on this is going to look fantastic. So go ahead, like I said before, and put down your light mist coats or your tack coats here because you don't want it to leak underneath the stars or the stripes or any of that tape you put down. If you saturate it, it can leak underneath, and you don't want that to happen because it'll ruin your paint job. This is really good. Now, I have used other types of tape, but if you put down something that's got a really good bite with the adhesion of the glue, it's going to be tough to get it off when you're done painting, and you want to take it off while it's still kind of wet and tacky. You don't want to wait for it to start to harden and dry up because it'll stick to your tape, and that will ruin your paint job also. You want to make sure that, like this painter's tape, although it'll stick, it doesn't have a lot of adhesion, which means it's not going to stick too badly when you go to remove it. But you've got to be careful. Practice with these procedures, folks. It's a lot of fun, and it'll open up a whole bunch of new doors for you when it comes to customizing your vehicles. This is going to look really, really sweet. Like I said, that area around the skull, we're going to paint that blue later once this other paint sets for at least a day. Let's take the tape off. Here I've taken the tape off. Look how sweet that looks. Man, that was fun. That was so much fun. This is going to be absolutely beautiful. Man, that turned out good. I'm really happy with this. That metal showing through after we polished it up with the flits, fantastic. All right. Later on, I went ahead and let it set for over a day, and I went back in and I painted the skull with the blue. So you got that American flag looking thing going on top of the Punisher skull too. Looking fantastic. Let's put some stars on it too. And here's all the parts. Here's the base. That looks great. Those wheels look fantastic. Here's the interior. Now I went ahead and I cut up the glass and I put it inside the body, and I went ahead and mounted the dashboard with the steering wheel. I detailed up the headlights, and like I said, we put some stars on the Punisher skull, and that looks great. Let's put it together and have our reveal. And here's what we started with. A Jada Dairy Delivery. This car is fantastic. I love the Hot Wheels Dairy Deliveries, but this thing is absolutely sweet. We took it apart. We stripped down the paint. We cut the Punisher skull out of there with a small drill, a jeweler saw, and some files and sandpaper. Once we got that done, we polished it up with the Flitz polish, made it all nice and shiny. We got the Spectra Flame paints from the Redline shop. We got the Spectra Flame Blue. We got the Spectra Flame Red. We laid out the stripes and the stars in either pinstriping tape or with the blue painter's masking tape. We took our time with it. Man, I'll tell you. I'll probably make some other ones with this same particular paint job here, probably on some different vehicles. But man, this turned out absolutely sweet. I am so proud of the way this turned out. And here's the results. Look at this beautiful paint job, folks. And like I said, guys, you can do this too. It's so easy if you practice, okay? You can do this. And take your time. Cut some weird shapes out with some tape. Put it on there, paint over it, pull the tape off, and check your results. But we cut out the stars by hand. We cut the stripes out by hand. We painted it up. We cut out that skull on top with a jeweler saw, and that takes practice also. So when you get a jeweler saw, make sure that you get extra blades because you're going to snap some. Now you can get that jeweler saw at my Amazon Marketplace page, which the link is in the comments section. So please check that out. That's absolutely beautiful. I really enjoyed this. Man, we got so many other builds coming up. I've got a really cool one coming up with a bone shaker that I think is really going to rock you. Fantastic stuff. This video is brought to you by the Redline Shop. The Redline Shop offers a complete line of products for your die-cast restoration needs, such as hoods for your car, glass tops for your car, those beautiful Redline tires, and of course the world-famous Spectra Flame paints. What a great product. The Redline Shop at www.redlineshop.com, where Redlines come to life. And don't forget about the great products of Flitz. If you go to their website at www.flitz.com, for those folks watching Diecast Graveyard videos, the folks at Flitz have got a special offer for you. If you go to their website, any product online, Flitz will offer you 20% off any product off their website. At the end of the transaction, type in the code GRAVEYARD. Now this deal is for anyone who watches Diecast Graveyard's videos, but you have to go to the Flitz website in order to get this special deal. Thank you to the great folks at Flitz. I want to say thank you from Diecast Graveyard. This was a fantastic build. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit the like button and give it a big old thumbs up. I really enjoyed this. We got so much more coming. Thank you so much from Diecast Graveyard. My name is Paul. Cheers.